Welcome to Extra presented by VDG Sports. I'm your host, Vince Douglas Gregory. No filter. Very censored. You can follow us on the Twitter bird, Xtra VDG. Xtra VDG. And for the time being, you can follow me if you like, if you choose to. Vince D. Gregory, same place, same bat channel. Same place, same bat channel. Vince D. Gregory. I mentioned this on a previous episode where I talked about, how can I say this? I haven't synced my dentist in a long time, and I was worried. Well, usually I let things air out. Usually I let time go by, but when it's something dealing with me, or if it's a bunch of good news, or if say something needs to be said ASAP, then I just go ahead and do it. And is the case we are at now. Although I have been going back and revisiting some of the historical documents, and let's just say, wow, that's it with a capital O. Wow with a capital O. Noobs, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Thank you for giving me a chance. That's all I ever asked for. That's all I ever want is a second or two of your attention. If you feel and deem that I'm worthy to proceed and continue on, so be it. If not, okay. No worries. Regs, we back at it again. Regs, we do what we do. Regs, this feels, and it seems like every single day, but it's not every single day. It just feels that way. We got a special, unique bond that we have. Sharing is caring only under certain circumstances. Had to have that caveat. Had to add that caveat because this ain't the old days no more. This is not the old days, and this is a family show and a family program. But when you come up with what to call this, we will retroactively go back and say, this is what it is. This is what it was. And this is what it will always be. Always be. However long it takes. Month, year, century, half century, millennia, whenever, whatever, however. Let's just get it done. But we don't need that. SO to my non-verbal communicating peeps. I'm just saying a shout out to you so everybody else know you exist. We communicate non-verbal, so that's something that we don't have to do. But this is for everybody else. This is for the noobs, and this is for the regs who have expectations, who want to one day become a non-verbal communicating peep. Just keep trying. Keep at it. You'll get there. You will be one of us. You will be one of us. And it's not like haven't been going to the dentist's office. I've been keeping my regularly scheduled appointments. You can go back and review some of the historical documents where I mentioned and talked about how it seems like every time I was going, there was somebody new seeing me, and whether they were either praising me or scolding me. And it was to a point where it seems like everything was a dig. Everything was a scold. Everything was something that I just didn't want to hear, and I wasn't seeing my regular dentist, so I was definitely feeling some kind of way. Who are you to call me old? Who are you to say that I got a cavity? Who are you to say that you must don't eat meat? Yeah. Or you don't brush your gums. Huh? You need to start brushing your tongue. What? But to be fair, the past year and a half, there hasn't been nothing but good news. All of the things that I mentioned, yeah, it happened. It occurred. You can go back and review the historical documents because each time it happened, I pointed it out because it sees something, say something. And when it's dealing with me, I just go ahead and say it. I just go ahead and sing like a bird. I just go ahead and use my bird-like voice to get the message out. Because maybe you don't want to be like me, or maybe you don't want to learn the hard way. How? However, the one I was just called ode because I got a cavity. Yeah, that was a cheap shot there. That was a cheap shot. Yeah, I know I'm old. It's like, yeah, you're doing everything that you supposed to be doing, and you're doing everything that you need to do, but because you old, you got a cavity. What? Okay, thank you. I feel worse now because old ain't something that you can fix. Old ain't something that you can prepare for or be prepared for when it comes to this, because no matter what you do, no matter how good and well you take care of yourself, you're still gonna get old. Old is unbeaten, undefeated. But the other case is like, all right, I got it. I understand the instructions. Because that was one time it was like, yeah, you're brushing your teeth and you're brushing everything, but try to concentrate more on your gums, and maybe you should go in a motion like this. So I started going in a motion that they told me, and I went out and bought an electric toothbrush. But also I end up using an electric toothbrush for about a year or so. Then I got tired of that, and then I just went back to the manual method and doing what I needed to do. And then the next thing was, yeah, you need to start brushing your tongue a little bit more. I brush my tongue. How about this? I'm going to go out and buy a special brush just for the tongue. Did that. No more complaints with that. And then I think the previous complaint that I can recall was the way I open and close my mouth, that I need to work and practice on that. And I was like, you know what? That ain't going to happen. You can tell me that. You can say that. That's just not going to happen. Every other time I've been in here, there have been suggestions. I followed the suggestions. And the next time I showed up, you said, hey, the suggestions worked, or the suggestions was followed, and everything looks good or great. And then it was something else, by the way. And these were me relaying this information to new people, because it was like almost like a bring your friend to work one day, and every day is a different friend, or every time it's a different friend. And that's why I got a little bit concerned. That's why I got a little bit worried. Every time I go here, every time I arrive, there's somebody new and they got something else to say, up until the point where there was nothing else left to say, because everything was addressed. And you can go back and check the historical documents on that. I go in more better details. But here, I just want to get to where I want to get to. And I just couldn't skip over all of this to get to where I needed to get to, because it wouldn't make any sense. And I am trying to make sense. Yeah, I am. Yes, I am. But going through and keeping my regular appointments and doing regular appointments, and I just never saw my dentist. And when you be or have a dentist or a doctor for so long, you develop a relationship with that individual. You develop a relationship with that person. You know things about them. They know things about you. And if they're worth their salt, they actually care. If they're worth their salt, they actually show interest in you as a person, and not you as just another number on an appointment. And I was lucky to have a dentist who actually viewed me as a human being and a person. And so we developed this relationship over the past 7-8 years. And so when the last 2 to almost 3 years go by, and I haven't seen him, and I'm seeing all these other people, yeah, it was troubling. Yeah, it was making me all in my feelings. I wasn't saying up late at night, listening to Drake, wondering what went wrong and what can I do to hide my insecurities by being overly aggressive about situations and things that I ain't overly aggressive about. I could have done that, but I didn't do that. I just had it in the back of my mind and back of my head what happened until my most recent trip, until my most recent appointment. I saw my dentist and I lit up like a jack in the box. I lit up like a Christmas tree. I lit up like the 4th of July. I lit up like lights when it's past a certain time. I was like, whoa, where have you been? And I got an answer. I got an answer that I wasn't prepared for, because the answer that I got just made me realize how unlucky that I was when I was scheduling my appointments, how unlucky I was when I was actually conjuring up dates to have my appointment. Because I was like, hey, what's up? Long time. I thought you wasn't here anymore. I was seeing everybody but you. I was seeing everyone. And it is, how can I put this? You won't see your dentist unless there's major issues and major problems. You will see everybody else. And of course, with the X-ray, after the X-rays, whatever, you will see the dentist then as well. But for whatever reason, get this, make sure you're sitting down. Make sure you are sitting down. And if you got some lucky numbers to play, I suggest you just go ahead and play them lucky numbers. If you got some ideas that you just not sure that they'll work out, go ahead. Them ideas gonna work. Go ahead. Because look, I was just picking dates or having dates where he didn't work. And it's not a mic drop moment. That's a boom, mind blown moment. How was I always picking dates where he was not there or he wasn't working on those certain dates that I was picking those dates and times? Because my schedule and his schedule apparently conflicted. And it just so happened that I picked a date that actually worked. I picked a date where everything matched up. Everything came together. And I was like, whoa, that is odd. That is strange. That is peculiar. That ain't the new that I always talk about. That's not the epic adventure that I want in my life. That ain't even the pure chaos that just drives me to be better than what I usually am. That is a coinky dink. That is cray cray. That is, how can I put this? That is something that you don't even want to wish upon your worstest enemy, even though you know your worstest enemy out to get you, but you just going to show a little love. You just going to let them up just a little bit, but not enough to where they can actually win, but just enough so they know that you letting them up just a tad, only to make things a little bit worse. But that, on the other hand, ain't that. It is something completely different. How do you manage to over almost 3 years to schedule appointments, to schedule times, and all of those times and all of those dates just magically were the wrong one. Wrong one if you didn't want to see. Right one if you didn't care to see. And in my case, wrong one because I did want to see. Because once again, this is like a friend. This is like somebody that I know personally, and conversations personally, know personal stuff. And it's not just your run of the mill conversations either or either. I'm giving you two because you know how I do. It is multiple choice. It is multiple choice. You pick, you choose. I'm just a storyteller. I am just the storyteller. And that blew my mind that all of those times for all of that long, it just somehow didn't be the right or correct date. So yeah, we definitely caught up much as possible. And this time there wasn't any other thing that I had to do, like, you know, be old and all of the other stuff that came after or came before the whole being old thing. So it was something that reminded me that I'm going to have to go back to that petrol station. I'm going to have to go back to that fuel station because that one guy that was there who thought we are besties, he probably feeling the same way about me. He probably saying to himself, where have I been? Where have I gone? Am I okay? Am I all right? I'm just going to have to show up. I'm just going to have to show up and also keep that promise to myself and never run out of petrol again, because that walk of shame ain't something that I wish upon my worstest enemy. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Be sure to check out the new and improved website at xtra.vdgsports.com. That is xtra.vdgsports.com. There is a YouTube as well. VDG Sports. Like, subscribe, share, basically do whatever it is you do there. Comment if you must. Comment if you must. This episode is not, I repeat, not being sponsored by VinceDouglasGregory.com. VinceDouglasGregory.com is where you can keep up with me, my whereabouts, my well-being, basically all things Vince. I've been reviewing some of those and wow, let's just say it is magic. It is magic. We've come a long, long way, and you should go back and look at those on the website as well. You should. And I'm catching up, and that's why I've been looking at them, because I've been catching up and I actually been putting them out regularly almost. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Noobs, thank you kindly. Regs, you know what time it is. I might give you a little taste. I might give you a few drops, but I'm just going to say I'm out like peace.